What is up, you guys? Welcome to the video. Today we have a couple things in store. One, we have a couple of our tires that came in the mail for the 86, the white one over there. We have to replace the studs that somebody, as you guys can see, somebody here did them wrong. I think I may have messed one up myself. Big impact I bought that may have ruined it, but we still got to replace them anyways. We have 3 that are good on this side, and then obviously these 2 are no good anymore. First thing we got to do is removing the brake caliper from here first. Then certain cars are different, but this one luckily has these little threads that we can thread a bolt through. And the more you tighten, it'll push down and it'll push this out. So no banging required on this one. And just like that, the hub is off. Now what we need to do is try to see if we can't put them in this way and then pull them with the nut. So if your car's as bad as mine, you're gonna need all of them basically. You have to play with it a little bit, but it'll go in there eventually. Obviously every car is a little different, but on this one there's a little slot on this side that I have just enough room to tuck these in there with. Now that you have this far, you want to find a nut that fits these and then pull it. So I have this little bracket, metal bracket laying around, which I don't use for anything, but this, you have just enough space for this nut to go through, and it gives us that much more thickness. This is not a shallow nut. Carefully put it on there. Once you have it on there, hand tight, and you take your proper size and you just torque it down. Now don't over torque it, because then you could cross thread it again. Just like that, they're all on there. We have all 5. Now we can finally put on a spacer so that this madness is gone. We can also figure out the width is gonna be. I can figure out everything in terms of putting on a wheel properly, because we weren't sure of how the fitment was gonna be, because we couldn't exactly put on spacers or anything, because there's no way I'll be able to, in order to fill this gap in properly without a spacer, I literally need at least a 12-inch wheel, which is, it's all right, but for a BRZ, I don't know that it's necessary. Let's see how much of this wheel we can get back. Okay guys, so we obviously can't drive this yet, as we only have 1 of them in here. So we need to go get 4 more for this side. But what we were after is filling up that gap a little bit. You can see this is a lot closer to the edge. So if we compare this, we'll go off of the wide body. If you compare how much it sticks out on the back side, obviously the front comes out a lot more, but this back end, it's a little visible now. And on this other side, the tire is literally non-existent. Put a tire on there so you can see the difference. Okay, so notice this, like we have this much tire left here, probably a good solid 3 fingers off of this. And on this side, you literally have nothing. Like, it's right there. They really help our tires come out a little bit to look less like a truck on fender flares. All right, so now we're gonna do this other side. We're gonna button it up, have it so where we can drive it on the road safely. So let's go ahead and knock this thing out and continue. We were taking these tires to get mounted on the wheels. It's time, boys. All right, guys. This is the finished product. Those wheels, honestly, they look pretty good. I thought they would poke a lot more, and so for that reason, I bought some fender flares for this thing. But after looking at it, I don't think I'm gonna put any fender flares on it. It doesn't poke enough. I'm just going to do my best to bring this lip out a little bit. Since I still got like 2 feet before these things actually meet, what I'm gonna do is once it lowers, it should camber in a tad bit, and maybe with a little pulling here, maybe we can get that perfect clearance that we need. I don't know, it looks a lot more beefier now with wheels and tires. I didn't expect it to grow that much. I guess I was just so used to seeing it slammed on the floor. We are still working on the inside. You can see we did a little bit of the rear end over there, a little bit of rust repair. The door was taken care of. There was a little bit of bare spots there, and we haven't done much more in here. I have an issue of putting too much work on my hands. I usually try to do everything, and then a lot of the times I end up not being able to, or I'm like pressured of doing things because I fill my plate with too much. I'm always looking for that next thing that I can do to something, or do to this, or do to that. So like currently I have like maybe 10 different projects, but you guys are only aware of the 86 here and of the BRZ. There's a couple things going on around the house, a couple of renovations going on, even the shop needs some things done. And overall, I've been just piling things on. I'm gonna show you guys this thing running. So we got the spacers on, we got the studs fixed, so it is technically drivable. The car actually turns on, which I'm going to show you guys. The clutch is not disengaging, so if it's in neutral, it'll stay in neutral. If it's in first, it'll stay in first. And so I can start it in neutral, but it won't move, or I can start it in first or second gear and keep it in that gear. Otherwise, I won't be able to drive it. You'll see what I mean. Okay, guys, don't mind the fingerprint and all this. The problem with the car is it's collecting dust because we can't get it on the road. The problem we are having is that whenever I go to start it, it ever so slightly moves. So here, guys, we'll cut on the fuel, and then you've got the hear it here finally. Hopefully you can hear it over the fuel pump. So there. It's in neutral. You won't be able to hear me while it started because it's so damn loud. But the problem here is that whenever I go to put the gear in, it won't go in smoothly. And I thought it was something else, but I think the clutch has been sitting for a little bit, and so it's kind of attached itself a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to start it in gear. We're going to start it in reverse and see if we can't get this puppy to go. Oh, we're good. Don't mind all the smoke. I had a little oil leak or power steering fluid leak the other day, so there's going to be oil smoke for now until it burns away on the headers. So in a couple days, there will be a drift event, and this car will be present no matter what. It'll be there. Worst case scenario, I'll start it in gear, and I'll just go to town in that same gear. Today's gonna be a little bit of a short one. The car is running, as you can see. It starts up. That is a big accomplishment. That means everything in the engine bay is done properly. It's smoking, but like I said, it's the oil leak everywhere. I had a little incident, and I turned the car on without a power steering cap, and yeah, let's just say that went everywhere. Thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video if you like the video, and thank you guys for subscribing. Seems like the family is growing slow and steady, and that's the only thing I want. Honestly, I'm just having fun with it, so if there's something you guys want to see me do, hopefully finally drive this thing or anything else besides that. Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.